you a taxi driver who was stopped. They're actually chasing him on foot now. I think I'm going to ask Uri to just take off the camera and maybe let's move forward just to show you what's happening there exactly. We can see right here, Mpho, as you can see, the taxi driver is running off. He actually parked his taxi as he was stopped in one of the roadblocks here by Grasmere Toll Gate Plaza. Now we have police officers and traffic officers chasing after him, Mpho, trying to get him. He actually just abandoned his taxi. He got off and he ran on foot. As you can see right there, there's a crowd of police officers. They've even gone over into the private property there. Let's just cross the street here quickly, just to get through for you so we can show you the visuals. Now, Mpho, this is showing you the effect that these roadblocks are having on the South African roads. So my guess is he was not expecting the roadblock of this magnitude here at the toll gate. Now you can see police officers getting into one of the cars, chasing him. There are some who have gone on foot, chasing him inside the private-owned land, together with the Gauteng Traffic Department.
Wow, these officers' fitness levels are being tested
and
here.
And there they are now trying to get him. There he is, that side. He's actually just crossed the road. He's actually crossed the road by the bridge. As you can see far ahead, Mpho, there is a bridge. He's just crossed the bridge. Now traffic officers are trying to get onto the other side of the N1 so that they can apprehend the taxi driver. I mean, who would have thought, Mpho, that this would be happening right now? I guess these are some of the things that actually take place. And just before we spoke to you, I could hear that the minister was also quite surprised and shocked. As you can see, the bystanders here and the traffic officers also shocked at what just happened, as they were not expecting it. Now, they're going inside to search this vehicle because they don't know what the reason could be for him to abandon this vehicle and actually run on foot. So they stopped him. They asked to search, and it looks as though he does have passengers inside. I see there are some passengers who are actually being questioned now. So we're going to move towards these passengers just to hear what is happening. I also see that the minister is there trying to talk to the passengers to find out what happened, what made this man leave this vehicle and run on foot. But it looks as though they've actually caught him. They have apprehended him. They're going to bring him in. We'll just make our way towards the minister to talk about this man's bold move, thinking he can get away during a roadblock of this size. I mean, you can see the amount of traffic vehicles, police vehicles that are here. One wouldn't think that someone would think they could just run away. So they're going to bring him in, and I'm sure for him, it's behind bars, Mpho.
Now, Sipho, we know that as the minister was speaking this morning, several people have already been arrested in this operation this morning.
That's true. That is correct. Now, let's speak to the minister. Minister, of course, a part of your briefing, you told us about some of the arrests that have been made. You have +1 now. This bold move made by this taxi driver. Tell us about that. Have we been seeing a lot of these on these roadblocks?
A lot of these do happen on a daily basis. It happens all the time. But this taxi driver, he doesn't have a driver's license. He's got a learner's driver's license. This vehicle expired in 2018, but it's on the road. So that is why he's running away. But we will find him now and bring them to book and bring him to book. But these are road infringements. And that actually occur on our roads, and the passengers don't know that this guy is illegal behind the wheel. They think that is legit. But this is the kind of guy who will drive them to death. And then because he's driving an unroadworthy vehicle, and at the same time, that is why law enforcement is important. And even during the times of the lockdown and so on, you still have got all of this, and there are many, and all of that. So our laws must bite. But for what he has done, he has basically called himself that besides the road traffic laws, evading the law is a serious crime. And he must be charged with that because he's running away from the law and to explain himself, and at the same time running away from law enforcement. So he has basically called the problem to himself, and for that he must face the full wrath of the law.
Now, Minister, you've just mentioned, of course, saying that these are the kind of examples that lead to death. Unroadworthy car, not having a valid license. Now, let's talk about the 28 road deaths that have been recorded over the Easter period. As you've mentioned, such an extraordinary time during the lockdown. I think some South Africans would have expected that you would talk about smaller numbers. Were these people who were permitted to do provincial cross borders, or what were these accidents?
You've got the fatalities that we have broken them down province by province, but majority of these deaths are pedestrians, people who are just walking. As you can see, that pedestrians increase the number of fatalities during Easter and at the same time festive season holidays. Now it means one thing: South Africans must be educated about obeying the laws of the road, particularly those who are pedestrians. But equally, motorists must do the same. So some will be charged for culpable homicide, but over and above that, we've got to ensure that pedestrians also obey the laws of the road. So that is the majority of these accidents, the account we basically have. But what it says also to us is that the majority of our people have followed the law and then are law-abiding citizens, and I'm quite elated about that, because